Hello, this is the video review for Transformers United, Rumble, and Frenzy. I picked these guys up a couple days ago and thought I would do a review for you guys. They're a pretty cool set of figures. This is, well, depending on your mileage, this is Frenzy for me because I'm a G1 show guy. For you this might be Rumble. But yeah, these guys are pretty neat. I will start with Rumble in his vehicle mode. These turn into Cybertronic tanks. I've heard some people on the forums mention that they were surface-to-air anti-aircraft tank guns of some kind. I can see that. As far as the vehicles go, they've got the four wheels on the bottom, so they roll fairly well. They've got this front turret which has like a little red eye on it, and it turns kind of side to side, a little bit up and down. I think it's probably a ball joint, but I haven't been brave enough to try to pop it off to see, considering that these things are running for about $60 shipped right now. The guns on the side are the 3mm clip weapons, so they can be popped in and off. Mine go in there fairly well and are a little bit of a pain to get off, but they're the little 3mm clip weapons, and they've got a ball joint in them so that you can have them a couple different ways. I like keeping them like this because it makes the tank turrets stay straight, which is like a little pet peeve of mine. I like having the turrets to be straight. But it's pretty cool. There's a little clip back here if you wanted to add another weapon. And then I did notice that, pop this one off again. These little guns, I guess they are here on the front turret, are actually just about the perfect size for one of the clip weapons. So if you wanted to, you can pop a weapon on like that. Or even on the front gun, you could pop another weapon on like that. Front one doesn't seem like it wants to stay very well. But there's options there. So let's go ahead and get started to transform it to robot mode. So the first thing you want to do is the front of the tank here is clipped in together. So you just want to separate that. And then take the two tank tread sides and just kind of pull them out a little bit. And that'll kind of free this area up. Then you want to take the little tank tread sides here, and you want to bend those, if I can get it to go. They bend to the side like that. Do the same thing on the other side, and I'll flip this part up too just to make it easier. Those flip out to the side. Then you fold these up, which makes the hands, and take the back part here, and which is what will become the pile drivers, and just flip those up. They don't go in any flatter than that. It kind of makes like a V shape, which could bother some people. And as you can see, kind of making the pile drivers pop out. It's one of my pet peeves with the figure, is that these little silver panels here are what makes the pile drivers go, and just where they are placed on the figure, you tend to knock them about a bit while you're messing and causing it to deploy when you don't necessarily want it to. Anyways, the next part you want to do is, these are the legs, and they're just kind of tabbed in right here. And actually, if I pop that out and show you, there's two tabs right here and right here, or sorry, right here and right here, that go in right there and right there to tab it in for when you're going back to vehicle mode. But if you come around here, there's a tab here and a tab there. Just fold the leg hips down until it snaps, and you're starting to see the robot mode. The feet fold down. And then on the bottom there are some heel spurs you can pull out. And the legs are done. The arms are on this kind of like little springy thing, and if you do it right, they don't really snap, or I should say they snap, but they don't really make a noise when you do it. And when you clip them in, they're pretty solid. And then the final part is you take the chest piece, and there's just a bit enough clearance between the head and the chest piece for you to pull the chest forward and down, which gives him his cassette chest piece, which is very important for the figure, of course. And there you have the robot mode. They have a couple different features. The most prominent of which is obviously the pile driver. So they have normal hands, which are in kind of like the typical Generations open hand pose. But if you want to, you can give them the pile drivers. So what you do if you want to do the pile driver, you flip the hand upside down, bring the pile drivers down, and then take the hands, and the hands will fold back and down like that. Show you on the other side. Down and down again. And there you have pile drivers. And then, as I said earlier, to activate them, there's a little silver panel here. Pop that and it goes down. I like them. They're a cool feature to see that they finally included it on one of these guys. The way their legs are done, you can do a couple of different kind of pile driving poses if you want. I think the most cartoon accurate one was doing this, and the way their feet are, you can do it pretty well that way. Put them down like that, and they kind of have the whole pile driver thing going on, which is pretty cool. And then also, you can take them like this and do the bend over kind of pile driver thing. And their heads are in a ball joint, so they can kind of look forward while they do that. Kind of like that. Which is another way you can do it. I prefer the traditional method. The other feature, which I'll show you on Frenzy, try to put him over here, is they have these guns on the back. And they're meant to look kind of like their G1 guns, which is kind of cool. And they clip in like that. But you can unclip the guns and you can put them here on the arm if you want, and kind of give them like an arm gun of some kind if you wanted. I think it's nice. Obviously you can see I'm doing the same thing I'm saying is a problem with these figures, which is constantly setting off the pile driver. Articulation wise, they're kind of a mixed bag. The legs are good. The legs are ball jointed. They can go out to the side. They can't go back super far, but if you unclip the hip, you can bring it forward and get some more backwards movement if you really wanted. They're ball jointed knees. The feet can come forward for certain poses. The arms are on a ball joint here, but the problem is, and as you can see by having one gun on and one gun off, with the guns off, it's got pretty good range of motion. You can do the full 360. It's got the bending elbow in a couple different places. You can kind of get that move going on. However, with the gun in place, like most people would probably do for G1 accuracy, you can't really do a whole lot with the arm for side to side. It'll still give you the 360, and you're fine with that, but I find they get in the way a little bit. And the other problem that causes is when you go into pile driver mode, like this, on this side you're fine, you've kind of got room to kind of go back a little bit, but you can see the edge of the tank tread here on the back tends to kind of run into the tank piece there. So I find if you want to have a lot of posability for robot mode, you probably should leave the guns off. So between the two of them, I think I probably like Rumble better. The colors on him are really nice. There's a kind of a metallic silver here, on the pile driver pieces, on the activation panel, and on the guns, and on the turret piece. There's some kind of candy apple red on the knees and on the eye visor, which is pretty nice. Oh, and this is painted silver as well as face. And like I said, he has one of those just awesome ball joints that goes like any which way, which I love. But yeah, they're pretty nice. For a size comparison, I brought a couple of figures that probably people will be wanting to see what they look like next to them. I have Rumble and Frenzy in my pile of loot at Big Bad Toy Store, but I don't have them here yet. But I do have this fella, which is the same mold, and it's just Shadow Warrior. And you can kind of see how much smaller he is. I've got him with his pile drivers out right now, but if you want to see him standing up, what size he is compared to these guys. Straighten him out here and put him like that. You can kind of see he's about half the height of the Hasbro guys. I love this mold, and a lot of people probably would ask, would you rather have the United or would you rather have the Perfect Effect mold? It kind of depends. If I bring in music label Soundwave here, you can kind of see, you know, they kind of come up to the middle of his hip. I mean, I think he fits in well with them, and that's probably how I'm going to display him on my shelf. And it works fairly equally well with the War for Cybertron Soundwave, if you happen to have him. But obviously, these guys are more in scale with the original Soundwave figures that you might be pairing them with. I think they fit really well with these guys, either of them, if you wanted to do it that way. It's really up to you. I do really like these guns. I know the Hasbro one is going to have gold guns. I prefer the silver, actually. And there is currently a debate as to whether or not the red guy is even going to come out over here in the US or not. So I would say if you're kind of on the fence for these guys, I would probably pick them up if you can find them now. I've been hearing that they're a little bit of trouble to get them right now, that they're sold out in most places. But if you can get a hold of them, I highly recommend them. I think they're awesome figures. If you have any questions about the figures or I missed anything in the review, please post a comment and I'll be happy to take a look for you. Transformers United, Rumble, and Frenzy.